Namaste, I'm Archana Pommi. Welcome back to my channel. This is the how-tos for Ushtrasana, also known as the camel pose. So we're continuing the animal series week with another animal pose, animal inspired pose. Now this is a very good deep back bend, a beautiful pose for correcting posture related issues and stuff like that, and also helps tone your abdominal area because of the deep back bend. And most important, it is very useful for those with breathing problems, because when you're doing a deep back bend in the backside, you're actually opening up the area around the chest, so there is more space, the lungs can breathe freely. So it's very good for those with breathing issues, and it's an activating pose. So let's get started. The only prop that I'm using is because of the pain in my knees, I use an additional cushion for resting my knees. If you don't have a cushion, or if you don't have a thick mat, you can double up the mat, or you can also put in a bed sheet below the knees, roll up a bed sheet and just place it below the knees, or cushions, whatever works to support the knees. If you don't have any problem, absolutely fine, but if you have knee pain, since you're going to hold this asana for a longer time, I prefer to use that. So getting onto our knees, kneeling on our knees, I'm going to place the cushion for my knees. Knees hip width apart. Again, keep your palms below your shoulders. Now, starting again with lowest intensity, just curl your toes and stand up kneeling. Now, from here, the simplest that you can do is place the arms on your hips and lightly tilt back as you inhale. Open the chest, squeeze the buttocks, and lift. Inhale, lift the center. So that is the most simplest form that you can do. We're actually not taking the arms towards the feet or the heels. So that is one way of doing it. The second way of doing it is to deepen. You can curl your toes and touch the top of the heel. The actual pose is done by keeping the foot flat. The tops of the foot are placed flat on the mat, and then you're touching the heels. So I will show both. So inhale. I always start with my right. So you approach one foot and then you are able to touch both the foot. So don't go in fully unless and until you have practice doing it. So as I inhale, I'm placing the right on top of the right heel, and then the left palm on top of the left heel. Now inhale. Once you have this grip, inhale, open the chest, squeeze the buttock, drop your head back and breathe. Again, it is quintessential to know how to get out of this pose. So you can either go down on your knees and then release. I'll show another way to release when I do it again. So doing this again with the top of the feet flat on the mat. So again, inhale. Bring the right palm on top of the heel. The other way of releasing is to release one hand, roll to the other side, and then come up. So that were two ways of doing Ushtrasana. So one is by curling up the toes and holding the top of the heels. The other one where your hand is fully pressed into the palm of the feet and the feet is laid flat on the mat. If you are finding it too intense a back bend, then don't even attempt that. Just simply, tilt just the upper body with the arms against your hips. Now for those who are absolute beginners to this, and if you find that feeling of, oh, I'm going back, what am I doing, this looks very weird, kind of a feeling, humble wall to the support. So you could do two ways, one facing the wall, the other one is facing away from the wall. I'll try to show both. I hope you can see it as clearly as possible. So the first one, facing the wall, you try to get as close to the wall as possible. Kneel down in front of the wall. Push your chest. So you're going to push your upper body into the wall and use that action to tilt back. So that was one way of getting into the pose. So you use that action. You can, if you don't even want to approach, the complete hold, it's fine. You can just keep using the pressure against the wall to just do that back stretch, open up the chest and breathe. So that's absolutely fine. Another way is the reverse. So many ways. So just try to keep your feet as close to the wall as possible. Adjust yourself and then inhale and place your palms on the wall. And inhale and release. So that's another way of getting into it. Now, there's also another way. If you find it difficult to attempt the back bend all by yourself, please take the assist of somebody who can help you do that on top of a chair. I'll try to show it. I don't know if I'll be able to do it right, because it always helps to have somebody do it for you. So give me a moment. So I've got a bolster here and a chair. I'm going to try and see for my height if this works. So that's the reason I said that it's always better if you have somebody who can adjust the height and everything for you. I will share a picture of how it is done in Iyengar yoga in the video. Usually you have 2 Iyengar stools and 2 bolsters placed, so you can completely rest on the bolster and even rest your neck, getting the complete back bend. This is just an attempt. I don't know how good it is going to be, so let's see. Inhale, stay as close to the chair as possible so there is no gap. Ideally, if there is no armrest, you will be able to place your arms on the chair and then feel the back resting. I'm just going to use this action because I don't have space to rest my arms by the side. So inhale and breathe. One advantage with the prop is you can stay there for as long as you can. Minimum of a minute. Again, to release, inhale, drop to a side and then release. Now, this was just a make-do of how it is done in Iyengar yoga. You definitely need 2 stools, 2 bolsters and enough space so you can, as you go back, you can rest your arms and rest your head completely. For me, this was beautiful because it did stretch the upper part of my back, which is very difficult when I am trying to do it by myself. So for me this works. If you can do this on a chair, feel the difference, how much of a difference you feel when you're doing it on a chair with a prop. This is how much of a difference you're feeling when you're doing it by yourself. So that's the reason I love props, because they tend to support you beautifully and take you to the next level, which you would otherwise be reluctant to do. Here is a quick recap of the various modifications for Ustrasana and its benefits. These are the modifications. You can just bend back with arms on your hips. You can also do this facing the front of a wall or placing the palms behind the wall. Ensure that your feet is, if you're trying to do facing front, your knees should be close to the walls. If you're trying to place the palms behind the wall, keep your feet to the wall. You can also do this on a chair with a bolster for the complete back stretch. I highly recommend you try this to feel the intensity of the stretch. And the final pose of Ustrasana is done by placing the palms on either the heels. So the toes could be either tucked to begin with, and then place the feet flat on the mat and then place the palms on the complete feet. It is also important that you know how to get out of this pose is to either sit on your legs and then release, or just release one arm and sway to the other side and release from the pose. These are the benefits. Because of the intense back bend, it absolutely tones the digestive and the reproductive systems in the abdominal area, gives beautiful posture correction by improving spinal alignment, and because of the back bend, it also regulates the thyroid gland near the throat. Definitely not recommended for those with severe back issues, but if your pain is manageable, you should be able to attempt this, like I said, with the support of a wall or on top of a chair. That was the how-to for Ushtrasana or the camel pose. Hope this was helpful. Please share your feedback and suggestions. Namaste.